In the quiet heart of Umukoro village, where secrets hide under people's tongues like stubborn kola nut, and where gossip spreads faster than fire on dry grass, there lived a woman whose name commanded respect, fear, and appetite. Her name was Mama Ozioma, a woman whose pepper soup could bring a dead man back to life, almost. For years, people said her pepper soup could calm quarrels, heal heartbreak, make stubborn children behave, and even make a man confess who he truly loved. They said her pepper soup had power, though even Mama herself didn't know how right they were. But one day, something happened. Something small, innocent, accidental, yet powerful enough to turn the entire village upside down. The pepper soup she cooked began to expose truths people never planned to reveal. Truths they buried, truths they protected, truths they swore to carry to the grave. Today, I will tell you how it all began. Mama Ozioma lived in a mud house with a roof that looked tired but still loyal. Her small compound was the cleanest in the entire village. Not a leaf on the ground ever survived longer than 5 minutes. She was a widow, and though she had suffered, she carried herself with the dignity of a queen who owned nothing but her pride. Her pepper soup business was her everything. Her identity, her joy, her income, her comfort, her connection to her late husband, her escape from loneliness. People always joked, "I beg of where God they beat you like drum. Just go Mama Ozi place, you go Trump where get your name. Mama, give us small pepper soup, so we go grow tall reach your roof." But beneath all her laughter and hospitality, there was a wound she carried silently. Her husband, Cyprian, was once a humble herbalist, never practicing dark arts, just roots and herbs. Before he died, he gave her only one thing: a carved calabash containing a mysterious spice. He held her hand with weak fingers and warned, "Ozioma, promise me, you will never use this unless your bad touches the wand. If you open it carelessly, spirits will weak." And for 10 years, Mama obeyed. Until the day desperation arrived. The sun was wicked that morning, shining like it had personal beef with Umukoro village. Even chickens were running around looking for shade. Mama rose early, humming her usual song as she stirred her pepper soup pot. The aroma rising from her pot made her smile. Or so she thought. She took the pot off the fire, packed her cooler, arranged her spices, and tied her wrapper firmly. When she walked to the market, children followed her like she was a Pied Piper. "Mama, you will be was born when you reach markets." Mama says, "Nah, play, you dey play, una go buy am today oh." She reached her usual spot, the corner beside the mango tree, and before she even sat down her stool, customers surrounded her like bees on ripe pineapple. "Mama Ozioma, abeg serve me first before this crowd swallow me." "Mama, put me to a match my starter so." Mama giving the pepper version, "My body cold since morning." Mama Ozioma proudly opened her cooler, then froze. The smell was weak. The color was wrong. Her heart sank. She took a taste. Shock hit her chest. It tasted like boiled water that passed by pepper soup, but it didn't grate it. Her face fell. Mama said, "Sigh, who do me? What is this?" But people were waiting. So she served the first bowl. The old one took one sip, stopped, stared, and then announced loudly, "Mama, this soup be like warm rainwater." A month is episode, "Mama, I beg no vex, but this soup did disgrace your name." Another person shouted dramatically, "This soup don't get parents, now orphan water." People began to return plates. Customers walked away shaking their heads. Some didn't even finish their complaints. They just sighed heavily like widows and left. Mama picked her cooler slowly. Her pride shattered, her heart heavy like stone. Villagers whispered as she walked away. Maybe she dey sick oh. Her hand no weak oh. This one not be Mama Ozioma again. Those words stabbed deep. She returned home in silence. The first time in her life, she felt like giving up.
That evening, Mama Ozioma sat on her low kitchen stool, staring at the calabash her husband left. The room was quiet, too quiet. She heard nothing but her own heartbeat. She whispered to the air, "Mama Ozioma, I no one disgrace your name. People done laugh me today. I no get anything else except this business, except this pepper soup." She looked at the calabash again. Slowly, almost fearfully, she opened it. A golden mist escaped. The smell that followed was otherworldly. Not sweet, not bitter, just ancient. The firewood under her pot suddenly rose higher like it was greeting something powerful. Mama Ozi stepped back. "Hey, Cyprian, what's you give me?" But hunger and shame don't listen to fear. She scooped a tiny pinch and dropped it into the pepper soup. Immediately, the pot hissed, the fire roared, the door creaked, her utensils rattled. Mama jumped. But the aroma that rose from the pot, even tired spirits in the forest would hunger for it. Mama Ozi covered the pot and whispered, "If trouble won't start, make it start tomorrow. I must redeem myself." Before she even stepped out of her compound, the village had already noticed something unusual. People sniffed the air like dogs hunting bushmeat. One man filling his bucket said, "Person that cook heaven food. Now who be that?" A group of women walking by sniffed dramatically. "That smell they talk to my soul. If I no chop hum today, I go faint." Mama walked proudly to the market, carrying her cooler like a queen with her royal treasure. People rushed her stall before she arranged her mat. And standing among the crowd was Odogwu the liar. Everyone in Umukoro knew Odogwu. He lied like it was a calling. He lied with confidence. He lied with style. He lied so much that even lies feared him. The villagers always said, "If Odogwu tell you good morning, check the sky yourself." Odogwu smelled the pepper soup from 10 feet away, froze, then tiptoed backwards like a confused goat. His eyes widened. "Mama Ozi, this one pass aroma. This one spiritual invitation." Mama laughed confidently and served him a bowl. He took one spoon. Just one. His brain entered airplane mode. His eyes blinked uncontrollably. His legs vibrated. His mouth started shaking. Then suddenly he screamed, "Mama Ozi, not me steal my neighbor goat." The market froze. Tomatoes dropped. Groundnuts scattered. A woman screamed Jesus and covered her chest. Odogwu could not stop. "Not me sell the skin. Not me lie, say which carry 'em. Not me lie." Mama Ozi shouted, "Close your mouth." Odogwu, crying, shaking, "My mouth will confess on its own." And that was how trouble started. Before Mama Ozi knew it, villagers were surrounding her like protesters. People were shouting over another, "Mama Ozi, my husband must drink the soup." "Mama Ozi, I want troop from my neighbor today." "Mama Ozi, mix some well. My landlord got some way, never tell me." "Mama Ozi, mix it well." Mama Ozi panicked and ran home. People followed her like pilgrims chasing a prophet. By the time she reached her compound, men, women, and children stood outside chanting, "Mama Ozi, open the door. We want pepper soup. We want truth." Inside the house, Mama trembled. Her eyes moved to the calabash. To her horror, The shadow inside it moved again. Whatever spirit her husband warned her about had awakened. When Mama Ozioma closed her door that evening, when she leaned her back against the mud wall, sweating like a goat on market day, and when she heard the voices of half the village chanting outside her compound, that was the moment she realized she had awakened something ancient, something hungry, something that did not care whether her pepper soup business succeeded or failed, something that only wanted truth. For hours, the villagers refused to go home. They stayed outside like fans waiting for a celebrity. Some knocked, some begged, some even cried dramatically. Mama Ozi, my husband must confess whether that sister in the church now really his cousin. Mama, beg, open. My landlord must tell me why he increased house rent last year. Mama Ozioma sat on the floor, breathing fast. She looked again at the calabash. The shadow inside it shifted. This time, the movement was fuller, clearer, almost like a curled figure stretching after a long sleep. Mama jolted back. Mama Hosafis, waiting you leave for me. But before she could think further, something else happened. Her pot, the same pot she used earlier, began to boil on its own. No fire, no heat, just boiling. Mama screamed and jumped up like she stepped on a scorpion. The pot vibrated once, twice, then settled. A strange whisper escaped from it, a whisper too soft for human, too clear to be imagined. The voice said, "Truth must walk through every tongue." Mama froze. Her heart forgot how to beat. Mama Hosum Chineke, Tuna, this kind thing you give me? Yet outside, the villagers continued shouting. The truth hunger had begun. But once truth starts walking, it doesn't stop. By sunrise, Mama Ozioma hoped people would forget. But Umokuro villagers forget? Never. Before he even tied her wrapper, 10 people were already at her gate arguing like politicians. Open, I want truth soup for my sister. She dey hide something. Mama beg Open, my wife must drink that soup today. I will buy extra meat. Mama Uzi, give my papa a big bowl. He dey hide money. Mama panicked. But business is business and pressure is pressure. She opened her gate slowly, which was the biggest mistake of her life. The villagers charged in like soldiers reading the shrine. They formed a queue by themselves. The first time in the history of the village that a queue was straight. Even Mama Ozi stand in shock. So Una know how to line up. Wonder shall never end. She brought out her pot again. The aroma spread like wildfire. The pot glowed faintly. Only Mama Ozi noticed. And then she began serving. 1 bowl, 2 bowls, 3 bowls. And then the truth started spreading like outbreak. First shout came from a man named Chidi the carpenter. He drank his spoon, paused, his eye twitched, and then he yelled, "I no fix that window well. I just use small nail and lie say it strong." His customer screamed, "So now you would make my window fall on my mother-in-law's head." Before they could settle, another woman shouted dramatically, "I didn't lose the village contribution money. I used it to buy new wrapper." The village women screamed like sirens. Another man stood up shaking like wet chicken. "I don't have malaria. I only wanted to escape farm work." Confessions were flying everywhere like fireworks. People confessed things nobody asked them. Some irrelevant, some shocking, some completely unnecessary. Old man,
I hid my neighbor's slippers because he refused to greet me last week. Young girl, I broke my mother's mirror and blamed the cat. The entire market turned into a confession stadium. And Mama Ozioma watched in horror. Chineke, what have I done? Couples. A married woman drank one spoon, froze, then shouted, I don't like your mother. I only pretend. The husband turned as if struck by thunder. You said what? And also, I hide my pocket money inside your churching book. Before the husband responded, he suddenly drank from her bowl, and his mouth began shaking. Well, I pretend to like your cousin. She didn't want me too much. Eh? A man nearby shouted, I miss my ex. Which ex? Another confessed. My salary no be 80,000, not 150,000. I just like the peace when you let cook quietly. His wife fainted instantly. The pepper soup turned marriages into boxing matches. Mama Ozi nearly cried. If this continues, divorce will fill this village.
Everything was already chaotic, but things truly escalated when the village chiefs arrived. The elders of Okoro, the mighty men with titles longer than their walking sticks. They marched to Mama Uzi like kings going to war. Chief Okombo, serve us! Mama Ozioma! This soup not for Heldazo. Nonsense, serve us! She did. And that was the day Imu Okoro saw the greatest embarrassment in its history. Chief Okonko, the most respected, tasted one spoon and shouted, Nami chop the money for community road! Silence. Then all the villagers screamed, Arrgh! The chief tried to close his mouth. He failed. I used the money to buy new motorcycle. Another chief confessed loudly, I am not 65 years old. I am 47. I only add age so people will respect me. The villagers gasped. Another chief shouted, I no be real elder. I buy my title. The women screamed like the world was ending. Mama Unsi hold her head. God, punish poverty where he make me open that calabash. As confessions tore the village apart, as families argued, as elders lost their respect, Mama finally looked at the calabash sitting beside the pot. The shadow inside was now awake. It rose like smoke, forming a shape. Not fully human, not fully spirit, just ancient truth. A voice echoed, not from the pot, not from the room, but from everywhere. You have fed me. Mama trembled so hard, her wrapper nearly fell. Please, I no mean to cause trouble. I only wanted my soup to sweet. You used forbidden spice. You awoke me. Now the tongues must speak. Mama collapsed on her stool, shaking. She whispered, I created a monster. The spirit moved, swirling like smoke. I am not monster. I am truth. Humans fear me, but they need me. Mama's tears flowed. Please, stop them or reduce the confession. People dare fight. The more they eat, the more they speak. And you, Mama Ozioma, you owe truth a debt. Debt? Which debt? The debt your husband left behind. Mama froze. Her mind raced. Her heart pounded. The spirit continued, Your husband did not give you spice. He trapped me. I am the spirit of unburied truth. Unburied truth! Your husband sealed me in this calabash. For 10 years I slept until you opened it. Mama covered her mouth with both hands. The spirit hovered. I grow stronger with every confession. And now, I want more. Mama staggered backward. No, I must close you back.
You cannot. I am awake, and soon everyone in this village will speak the truth they fear the most. At that moment, Mama realized the pepper soup was no longer just food. It was a weapon, a curse, a truth-demanding force she could no longer control. She whispered, "Umokoro is finished." But the spirit was not done. You think this is the end, but the greatest confession is yet to come. And that was when someone knocked her door again. Not a villager, not a customer, but someone Mama feared more than anyone, her late husband's apprentice, the only man who knew the real history of the Calabash. Then what he came to reveal would shake Mama Ozioma's soul, more than all the confessions in the village combined. To be continued.